welcome back. I feel like welcome back, Carter. Welcome back, welcome back. All right. So, welcome back to the Breakpoint with Coach C. Today we're going to touch a couple of topics. Sorry, I got to put my hoodie on because it's beautiful out here, but no bug bites for this guy, man. No bug bites for this guy. So, we're going to wait till we get a little bit of the people in here. I mean, people trickle in at their own pace, but we will get them in, and then we will get into the topic. I'm also waiting for my co-host, Tashawn. Tashawn's going to co-host with me today. He should be popping in momentarily, and it looked like he's just about ready.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing, Sean?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, you know me, man. I'm so cool. I'm freezing my own clothes, dog. Hey, I seen you bowl, 6-12 last night?
6:23, I think.
Oh, 620. Good job, Sean. Good job, Sean. Oh, there's my boy, Mr. Ethics. He's in the building today. Maybe we can get him to pop in here with us too. So how you doing, fam? You good? How's the recovery coming? Hey, Tashawn, do you know anything about OBS?
No.
Come on, dude. You're like 20 years old. You're supposed to be like at the mecca of your technology age. But
I
no.
know, I know, I know people who are good at OBS. I'm just not one of those people.
Hey, there go Brandon. What do you mean you're not one of them people? Dude, you're killing me right now. You're emotionally killing me right now. I'm trying to get OBS set up so I can stream, because the problem that I'm having is I need the cameras to be able to zoom in, and it's not working out very well. So, but I think with OBS, I might be able to get it better. So I'm trying to do it to find out.
I have a few friends that are streamers.
What good is that going to do me for tonight?
I know, but I can talk to them, and then they can let me know.
They can let you know what. So they're going to tell you how to mess it up, and then you won't know how to fix it. It's not about right.
Yeah.
All right. So if anybody wants to pop in, though, just let me know. So we're going to be touching base on a couple of topics today, and make sure you guys, keep A in y'all thoughts, because he's down in Florida, right there in the Panhandle. So that's why A's not with us today, because he's in the thick of that hurricane down there. So got to make sure that we look out for each other, the bowlers, that is. I'm glad everybody got their picks in. I think people that I've never seen names got their picks in for what the scores will be. You know what I'm saying, Sean?
Yeah, I don't even remember what I guessed. I did guess. I don't remember what I guessed.
You know what I might do? I might make it so that they got to guess mine and yours. So a ball on yours, a ball on mine.
That'd be fun.
You think you can handle that pressure?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so we're going to start it next week then. We're going to do it next week. So they're going to get to guess mine and yours. And
That sounds like it'd be a good time.
If we don't get enough winners, then we're going to go mine, yours, and Drew's.
Three-peat?
Yeah, 3P. What do you guys think of that? Think that'd be cool? Oh, Sean, do you see what Brandon just said about you? You better get him.
The comedy pressure. Oh, man.
Y'all got a point. He kind of fell apart on that, Sean.
I know, I did.
Hey, but that's okay. You get to see him a couple more times.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Wow.
Because I might have to go up there and get him. We might have to send Drew up there too. I don't think Conley will want Drew smoke though. I think that's the one person that he would be like, nah, I'm good.
Oh yeah, I would be like, yeah, he can keep hanging out down there.
So, first topic we're going to be doing today is going to be, how do you know what ball to buy? What do you think of that?
That's a good topic. Because
That
I used to just buy bowling
that's
balls.
that's one of the many things that we're going to go over today. But that's the reality, though, because so there is a ton of balls that come out right now. I mean, they're dropping balls like they're dropping welfare checks. I mean, they're just dropping.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are complaining like there's so many balls, there's so many balls. Well, here's the reality. The reason why they're releasing so many balls is because people are buying so many balls. They're just feeling the demand. If people, as people buy them, they keep on producing them, right?
Yeah.
Now, does anybody in the chat disagree with me so far? I mean, I would like some feedback because I would like to know what you guys think, how you guys think about it. Because this is not something that just affects me. This is something that affects you guys as well as me, right? So Brandon say he agrees. Because the reality is this. As we buy more, of course, they're going to definitely make more. You know what I mean? And so, but the question then becomes, okay, so yes, good point. He said it's like the old Christmas catalog, the old Christmas Sears catalog at Christmas time. He's right. But
Yeah.
but then it becomes, okay, how do you know? Okay, Brandon, I'm gonna ask you this. How do you know what ball to buy? Out of all the balls that they dropped, and I mean it's like 60 balls this year so far. How do you know out of the 60 which one to buy? But then you got last year's 60 and the 60 before. So how do you know what ball to buy for you? That's the golden question. So while Brandon's answering that question, here's why I'm asking, because in the perspective is this. So you have you have your style of bowling, so you know what shape that you have. You know what you're looking for, right? So you can watch 25 different ball reviews. And when you watch 25 different ball reviews, everyone has a different everybody throws differently. And then you have pros that you're watching who don't seem to make mistakes. And then you have your amateurs like me and Charles and Lewis, but we all looking for something different. Like, for example, I like to read the lanes front to back. So the question becomes, okay, well, coach, what do you mean by front to back? I mean, how early the ball is reading the lane. That tells me what I need to know. But a lot of times bowlers read like Tashawn, he wants to read it from right to left.
I'm getting better at the front to back thing.
No, I'm not saying you're not, but that's what I'm looking for. So if a ball's reading too late, I'm tending to leave 10 pins. If it's reading too early, that's an adjustment that I can make. But so again, I asked Brandon, so how does he decide what to buy? Because the reason why I asked Brandon is because Brandon has a ton of balls. Brandon had, when he was on the show last week, he had a ton of balls sitting next to him, something he hasn't even drilled yet. So how does he decide? So I'm much smarter now than I was 2 years ago. I now know that. Okay, so he predicates it on what fits his game, and if he has gaps in his arsenal. So my question to you, Brandon, is how do you know that a new ball will fit your bag or that gap better than one of your older ones? You know what's funny? I'm cooking some salmon in the air fryer for myself right now. And I'm not even kidding you. Okay, so he's narrowing it down. Brandon, that's good. You're good at this. So Brandon's like, I do much better with symmetricals than asymmetricals, and typical better with solids than pearls. So he's breaking down his games to need, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great. Now, Now check this out. I'm gonna run in there real quick because I got Simon. So Sean is gonna take over for a second. And Sean, I want them to explain you to explain to them what you're looking for when you are purchasing a ball.
Oh, okay.
This should be funny. What?
Ah, so, huh? Right. So in my case, like when I'm purchasing a ball, I mean, this is definitely the way I pick has definitely changed over the course of like before Clarence coached me and like when he started coaching me. So when I first picked when I was first picking bowling balls, I kind of just picked on what I liked, like how the ball actually looked. Like if it looked pretty, I liked it and I'd buy it. And then once Claire started coaching me, I more so started looking into like ball motion. So if a ball were read later or read earlier, and I figured that out from like ball reviews and whatnot. And a lot of it now is I look at the numbers on a ball, like cover stock. So cause I know personally I am better with hybrids and pearls than I am solids. So I'm looking a lot more now at if a ball is high, more so like cover stock and the numbers on the ball, so like RG differential, so I can help narrow down if a ball is going to have a earlier or later reaction, and when it does start to react, how it's going to read when it starts to react. Well, that's more so what it is for me. Mhm. And yeah, that is what it is for me, at least now. But before I used to be what like how if a wall looked nice, so I got like the Summit because I really liked how it looked. Didn't look at it as a uh hybrid solid or anything like that. I was like, ooh, I like the colors on this wall. I'm gonna buy it, and that's what I did. So
Okay. You should go. You can keep going, Sean. If you know.
oh, that was it. I'm out of.
Okay. So how you doing, Red? What's going on with you? All right. So Mr. Ethics, he said he agrees. And I agree with him too. The problem ethics is this: there ain't many balls that make it over a year anymore. I mean, let's be honest here. Most balls don't tend to they're discontinued fast. I mean, super duper fast. And but here's the best part though: for the amateur bowler, it doesn't matter. Now, if you're gonna go pro, then it matters a lot because they only have a 2 year window. But if you're an amateur, heck, we can buy balls at. I mean, we could some leagues even let you use the phase 4.
I thought they like took back all the phase fours.
Well, Red, listen, man, it's an honor for us to talk about it because again, the more knowledge we give, the better you guys are going to bowl, the better I'm going to bowl, the better all of us are going to do. Best practices are important, and it's funny too because a lot of times you don't get the information that you need, like something like polish or compound, or to take it off and put it on, or you can have a ball that's shiny even though it has no polish on it. So it's a pleasure. Uh-oh. Brandon said he do what you do, some Sean. Do I want to know what y'all do?
I said that like when I first started buying balls, I bought them if they look nice.
You still get them because they look nice.
Well, that's not true. Now I actually
Oh,
I
Sean.
that is part of it now.
Sean, do you want to go there?
See, I look at other things now, but if I don't like how a ball looks visually, I probably won't throw it. But
See? Because you're
I'll,
amazing.
I'll buy it.
You're amazing with the track hybrid, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Now, did you get that ball because you like the way it looked, or did you get the ball because of performance?
there's a little of both. I mean, because I really like the track series as a whole. I like the stealth series as a whole. So
Guys, don't let him fool you.
no, I like this. I found this stealth solid, track stealth solid, and the track stealth pro, and I like both of those. So I was expecting good things out of a hybrid,
The only
and
ball I will ever buy is a red ball.
that's because you like red.
But I think I'm done buying red balls because the one thing I've learned is red balls suck.
The TNT, the Phase 2.
Yeah. The IG Ruby,
Oh yeah,
the TNT infused. Oh my god.
the
I've only
Crusher.
thrown, I've only thrown one red ball that's good, and that's the hater. Wait a minute, Ethics. Why is your favorite balls not available anymore? What balls do you like that's not available? Yeah, give me one of those.
The Web Pearl.
Hmm?
The Web Pearl.
You can't buy the web pearl anymore?
Let's look.
So here's a question. So Brandon knows. Brandon says he looks at that. So Brandon, here's my question. When buying a bowling ball, how do you know if that ball is going to match your game or not? Great question, right? How do you know if a ball is going to match your game before you purchase it? So Brandon just said, no, he does not know if a ball's going to match his game before he buys it. So that means, why are you buying it? And in case anybody wants to come into the chat, I'm just going to put the link up there. Why not? We all family here. It's bowling family, so. Okay, see, now we're talking. Now business is picking up. Brandon just said that you don't know if a ball's going to match your game or not because you can't demo it like you can a golf club, which is facts. Brandon popped in quick.
Hello.
How you doing, brother? How you doing?
Hello.
All right, so now you can tell us in the chat. Now you can tell us because they can hear you. So we're going to be more interactive with it. So you said you don't know, right?
No, that's why I have a lot of balls for sale because I like the way they look and they don't work that well in practice. So
See, and
yeah,
that's
I wish it was like golf. Which I mean, I know you can do the demo days, but I would go to those in Houston when we lived there, but without and even going to a demo day, it's not it's not drilled to fit your game, so it's still kind of guessing game, but especially now living in a place where there is no demo days, it's just, of course, now it's more want than need. I've become the old grandma on QVC. Ooh, I like that one. I want to get it. So,
okay. Here's a question for you. Sorry, I'm eating, guys, but I'm trying to get filled up first and I'm getting ready. Here's a question for you, Brandon. Ready for this? And Sean, question for you.
Okay.
Out of the balls that you have, how many match your game?
Probably 3,
3 out of how many balls?
7.
Brandon, how about you?
I would say 1, 2, 3, maybe 7 or 8 out of the 13 that I still consider being in my quote arsenal.
Okay, see, that's where the problem lies right there. That's where the problem lies. Now, when you go to the pro shop, Brandon, or do you order them online?
I order them online because we don't have a guy who has a quote pro shop, but he has a drill press. You take the balls for him to drill. So, but even in Houston, I typically order them online because I got them cheaper.
Okay. Which that's not a bad thing at all. I mean, I don't mind. So, and here we go. See, and this is the problem. And this is why I wanted to talk about it. Is because the bowler's at the disadvantage. So, if you're on staff, right? So, like all the new videos are coming out with Brunswick, and then the new storm balls are about to drop. If you're on staff, they send you the ball, you demo all the balls, you know what words don't work for you, and they're free. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you watch these videos and they're like, this ball is this ball is that, rah, rah, shish kebab, right? And a lot of people predicate their buys on those things. And then you get the ball and you're like, oh no, this ball doesn't work for me. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So this is, the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because I had a rep from Storm hit me up. And he was a negative Nancy. And he was kind of upset with me because I wasn't rah-rah shish kebab with the AI. Now, I did say I liked the AI, but I wasn't the Phase AI. I never said it's the best ball or best thing since Wonder Bread. We all agree, right?
Yeah.
Well, this rep decided that he wanted to come at me crazy because I wasn't on that level. Well, here's the thing. I'm not paid to say anything. I'm paid. I bought the ball with my money. I threw the ball down the lane on my time, which is money. And so if I like something, I like it. If I don't, I don't. But and so then he says, and tell me this isn't crazy. He says, well, you threw the ball on the burn. It's not meant to be thrown on the burn. It's meant to be angular. Like, wait a second. Ain't it a pearl? Yeah. It's a pearl. Uh-huh. You sure it's a pearl? Well, yeah. Then when am I supposed to throw it? Because you don't throw it on the fresh. So you throw it in transition, right? Well, yeah. I threw it in transition. But you didn't like it because I didn't have my chip. You know what? He wanted me to be like T.O. Remember T.O. and he scored touchdown in Dallas? He had the pom-poms. That's how he wanted me to be. But unfortunately, that's, So what I told him is when I make a ball review, I don't predicate it on Storm or Brunswick, or I predicate it on if I like it, is it throwable? And if the next person gets this ball, whether they're playing up and in or they're swinging the ball, what kind of reaction are they going to get? If the ball gets to 40 feet, is it going to carry to 10? If the ball gets to 44 feet, will it carry to 10? If it's hanging up at 35 feet, is it going to get to the pins properly? That's what I care about. I don't care about who's making it. I don't care about all that. Am I making sense?
Yeah, that's why I don't, and that's why I like watching people like you and Charles and now Lewis again. Like when I first started bowling again a couple of years ago, Lewis was one of the first ones I found. That's why I think I told y'all last time, I got the Venom Shock with my first ball when I started bowling again. And it was because Lewis liked it back then. But when he got on staff with Storm, I stopped watching because all the guys that are, staffers with a specific brand, of course, they're going to push them. So I prefer to watch you, Charles, JR, the guys that aren't staffers that are going to give you an honest opinion on a bowling ball. And not everyone is a strike and 10 back and all that good stuff.
Man, JR is as real as they get, man. That dude is exceptional. And he keep it 100. You come at him, he gonna come at you. I appreciate that because that's how I am. LL Boogie. He's in Hotlanta. My mom lives down there. He said that's the problem. They don't get the demo balls. For far as motive go. I hear that a lot, man. A lot. Brandon, do you have anything other than the Venom shot for motive?
Actually, I was going to say, I feel bad talking about new balls when I got a brand new one sitting behind me that I just got. That's the new EJ Venom, and then I have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then I have a Trident Odyssey, which I don't use that much anymore. What else? That may be it as far as motive goes. I like motive, but if I can get the same ball through Hammer or Brands of Brunswick for $75 cheaper, then I go that route. So, but yeah, Venom has always been good to me. So,
but that's the problem with motive. Motive is very expensive.
Yep.
However, they're very, very unique. I mean, geez, I can throw that motive Trail to Pearl.
Oh yeah, I got the Superman ball.
No, I'm not talking about the Superman. I'm talking about the Pearl version of it.
Yeah, right.
That ball is uniquely amazing, and it's $100.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real here. If I put them two balls, if I get 3 lanes with 3 different conditions, and I throw that Max Trill and that AI, that Max Trill beats that ball every time. One is 190, one is 100. You pick.
Nope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But motive is expensive. See, but that's the thing too, guys. You gotta. I hate to say this, but you should be value shopping when it comes to bowling balls. You should be like, okay, if you need a solid, you should say, okay, what do I need this solid to do? Do I need this solid to conserve energy? Do I need this solid to read earlier? And then you figure out what you need, right? So then you take a list of all the balls, you figure out all the balls that do the things that you said, right? And then you make your choice. Am I making sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, and this is an example. If you need a solid that's going to read in the mid lane, that's going to store a ton of energy, I can think of 3 balls off the top of my head. All of them are Brunswick. All of them got benchmark shapes. But everybody, when they look at stuff, they'll be like, okay, well, you got this one. And then you'll have this person be like, oh, well, you have the hazmat because of the name, right? But then you have the track cipher that's same as them, and that ball's like $130. So you're getting the same benefit, just with a better price. Am I making sense to anybody?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But people in bowling are fickle, man. Bowling communities, it's tough. Why? Because people pay for the name of the ball because they think that that's giving you respect. Look, I'm going to tell you what, if I shoot a 300, I don't care if the ball came from the Salvation Army. It's going to be what it's going to be. It can say Salvation Army on the side. I don't care. Am I making sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's another example. If you wanted a Magic Gem, which was $200, right?
Mm-hmm.
For $130, you could have got the Hater, which is same shape, reads the same, gets through the pins the same. Any questions, anybody?
I think a lot of people, that, like I say, when I started bowling again, I think people too look at what everybody else is throwing. like the gym, for instance. Oh man, there's 10 gyms on the rack. I got to get me a gym. But it's very consumer. Yeah, bowling is much more of a gamble when it comes to equipment than, like say, golf or some of those where you can try it out before you buy it. But it's all about peer pressure at the beginning until you learn what you do or what works, I guess.
Okay, no, but that's where that's where we're going with this. We're going with the heck with the pressure. Become the individual. You got to figure out what's going to work for you. Does that make sense? I mean, looking at all the balls is great because that's how you have an understanding of what's going to work for you, right? So, which brings me to another question: when you're in league and you're bowling, or you're in a tournament bowling, how do you know what ball to go to next? I mean, if you take 13 balls, right? How do you know where you're going next? Let's start with Sean, the young buck. Let's see what he knows. When you're bowling league tonight, Sean, how are you going to know what ball you're going to next? Be honest.
How the ball. I mean, in my case, it's how the ball's reading on the lane.
Okay, you gotta say more than that.
So like my favorite ball right now is the Tracksup Hybrid, right? I mean, you're well aware of this. But if it's not like if it wasn't reading well enough in the back or wasn't strong enough through the mid lane, I would probably switch to the Super CUDA because the Super CUDA reads the mid lane a little bit better. But on the other hand, if it was like every time it got down lane, it just was jumping off the spot, or every time it would like I'd lay it down and start to hook way too early, I would ball down to like a pearl, and I go to either like the Paragon Pearl or the Exponent Pearl.
Okay, so here's a question for you: how do you know if you need to change balls, if you need to move?
I mean, for me, I move first. Like I'll make a move first, and if I'm still getting a similar reaction after the move, I'll change ball.
Watch this, Brandon. Well, how far do you move before you change balls? Because while you're doing all this, you're giving up. What is he giving up, Brandon?
Was he giving up?
Yeah. While he's doing all this tinkering, what is he giving up? What's he giving up?
Pins.
Frank.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you gotta keep moving until you find the right spot. So yeah, you're giving up marks. I mean, you're essentially. Well, I mean, maybe Sean. I don't know Sean that well, so maybe he's good enough that he knows how many boards to move. But if not, I made a 2-board move that didn't work. I can make a 4-board move that didn't work. Which I'm completely opposite. I think I said a couple times back. Being a lefty, I don't have to do a whole lot of moving or ball changing anyway. But I'm stubborn. I like staying where my comfort zone is. So I change balls more than I move.
That's fair. There's our brother Keith from Ball Brothers over there. He said how others are playing the lanes can have an impact on what the move might be. And he's 100% correct.
Yeah.
He's 100% correct, Sean. And you should have said that too. But the shot dictates it. The lanes dictate it. But again, based off of what Keith just said, when do you separate the two, though? When do you say, I'm moving or I'm changing balls? How far do you move? How many frames do you give it? Because it's impacting you every frame.
I usually give it like 3 at most.
That would explain all the 130s.
Oh, man.
Well, listen, and I'm not knocking you, but I want you to understand.
Man, I'm not co-hosting anymore. Get back here.
but listen, if you listen to me, though, the education will help you. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So when you take 3 frames, so that's 3 frames. Now, in that 3 frames, you can split. I mean, you got 33% chance of splitting or whatever in them 3 frames, right? So then you change balls. Right, Brandon? Ain't that what he said? So now how many shots is it going to take you to line up with that ball?
It usually doesn't take me that many to line up. Like,
how many is not that many? Wait. How many is not that many?
I think I can use like last night, for example, right?
Go ahead.
I in game two, I was a lot of just mechanical errors, right? And then upon, I think I worked those out, and then I threw my first shot after ball changing, and looked at how it read the lane, and then the next shot I made the adjustment I needed to make.
But that's 5 frames. You see where I'm going with this? What happens if
Yeah.
but that's how many frames you just gave away though. So what you're saying though is you were able to recover, right?
The second game, no.
See, so you gave away a whole game. See, so the question is, and that's where the question becomes, where is that fine line? Because now you have all these balls, right? And you have balls that you're not sure if they match you or not. So now it becomes down to, okay, so when is it I move? When is it that I change equipment? Because every single thing that you do, you got to remember you're giving away what? Frames. Now, here's the best part. If you're like Keith over here from Ball Brothers, or if you're like me, or you're like Brandon and you're a quality spare shooter, maybe you're not giving them away. However, let's take me, for example, last week. In the wrong ball, focused on the camera instead of what I was doing, and I split. And then another split. And then another split. And I feel like I'm under quicksand, you know, where you're moving around and you're thrashing and you're trying to get out, but guess what? It pretty soon you feel like you're up to your neck in it. But that's the best part about our conversations, and this is how we can benefit each other. Oh, here comes Keith. There we go. How you doing, brother? Okay, so this is how we benefit. Education, right? When do we make those changes? Keith's both in the PBA regionals several times, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you able to talk right now?
Yes. Yeah. I had you on in my background because I was working and I hit a stopping point. So I'm like, hey, I'll jump in now.
Okay.
For a few minutes anyways.
Here's a question for you. Somebody who's both in regionals. Is there a difference between when you change in balls and move in league and in a regional?
Yes and no, I would say. So here's the thing. You did a video, or you did this Breakpoint, I don't remember if it was last time or 2 times ago, where you analyzed your own shots. And you're talking about, is that a good shot or is that a bad shot, right?
Yeah.
And the thing that you were showing that had a lot of people stumped is you were striking, but you were saying that's not a good shot because
Correct.
It was coming in weak, it was coming in late, it was doing whatever. And it's like, that's the thing that you have to look for. Especially, and this is why I say kind of depends, is because in a league shot, if you're seeing flat tens or you're seeing it's coming in a little bit weak, even if you strike and your reaction is not quite what you think it should be, you should start making a little bit of a move a board left, move a board right, move whatever your adjustment is, whatever you need it to be. You need to make that adjustment and start making it before it's too late. Otherwise you'll flat 10, flat 10, flat 10. That's where I would move my feet or my mark. But if I threw a shot and it was like, holy crap, it just jumped through the face on me because somebody's just burning the crap out of my line or crossing my line or doing something like that, it's time to get out of that zone. And that might be switching balls and moving to another zone. Now, the reason why I say that differs a little bit with league and tournament is in a tournament, you have to be so precise that you don't want to give the pocket away. So sometimes jumping a zone in a tournament can be challenging and scary unless you have a lot of experience doing it. Because when you're in a tournament and you have a really, really hard shot, you don't want to give the pocket away. In a regional tournament, if I'm flat 10ing or coming in kind of weak, but it's still striking or getting close to it, I'm going to stick with it until I just don't have it anymore and we'll switch, because I'm too afraid. When you talk about giving away frames, if I switch balls and jump 5 left, I might wash out and get a 5 count or something really bad because the condition is so tough. But in a league, it's so much easier to know what the lanes are doing and know that, like, I know with confidence, I take 6 balls with me. I don't ever use that many balls, but I take 6, but I know I could grab any one of those 6 balls and I know exactly where I can stand, exactly where I could throw to at least hit the pocket in league before we even start, because I know what they all do. And so I know that if this is burning up, I know I can switch to this other ball, jump 5 or 6 left and get out, get inside and get into the puddle away from where they're burning up the track, or vice versa. And that's the other thing between balling up and balling down. If I'm bowling with people that are bowling down and in, and they're just destroying the outside, I'm gonna probably go ball up and get inside into the soup a little bit and get away from that. But if I'm bowling with guys that are 450 rev rate burning up the middle of the lane, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to ball down and stay right of them as much as I can.
No, and the reason why I put you on the spot is because you're a great example. Everybody that has an ambition to bowl in a tournament should start thinking along your mindset, because it's all about mindset. And the key to everybody, what Mr. Keith said is, he ain't giving frames away. That's not, he ain't giving them away. Whether it's league or in a tournament, he's not giving them away. But your indecision can do that very thing. And that's the one thing but that comes down to choices though. But like he said, ball choices, it's huge. But
the one thing I will say one thing for a lot of league bowlers, for especially people who are, maybe sub 200 average bowlers who aren't super accurate, what can be really challenging sometimes is if you are kind of hitting a flat 10 shot or hitting like it didn't hit where you wanted, is it because the lanes are changing, or is it because you missed? You threw it in the wrong spot. Whereas if you would have hit your mark, it would have been fine. It would have been good. And so some people can kind of fall into that. It wasn't the ball, it was me, and they stick with it. And it's kind of hard to tell if your accuracy is really bad. It can be a challenge sometimes making that decision. But at the same time, if you've got accuracy that is a bit of a challenge, then you just keep practicing, keep working on it until you build that up. And when you build that accuracy up, then you start making the changes appropriately.
Right, but yeah, no. Practice is always the key, man. Drills and practice. And I stress that all the time to you guys. You don't ever go into a bowl now without doing your drills before you practice. I mean, you got to. And sometimes I even do drills afterwards. Let's see. Ethics said, all my gear is mid-level, around 140 to 185 range. I've been bowling for 1 year and I average 183 with 275, 269 in high games. Is the 200 ball going to help me? I doubt it. That's the thing, though. You don't necessarily – ball price should never matter, because I know I can get performance out of anything. For me, I'm a little different than Keith. I'm very accurate, but in league it's a lot different, because here where we're at, it's dry on the outside, number one, and then number two, everybody paints between 7, 8, 9, 10, and there's 28 mils down, but it's all in the middle. So if I even with the rev rate in the between 430 450, if I keep it in the middle, I'm gonna leave something wicked. I'm gonna leave an 810, something like that, because the ball's not. It's so much oil. Even slowing it down, it's not. Yeah, even slowing it down, it's not gonna get through the pins properly. So that's where I'm in a dilemma. But it's the best thing ever for me. And people are like, Coach, you bowl 5'9". I don't care. This is the best thing in the world for me, because when I go to regionals, when I go down to Lockport, I know that nobody grinds like I do. I know that the 4 people that's going to be on my pair, the 3 people that's going to be on my pair, when the lanes break down, they're not going to see what I see. So when I got to hit that, when the lanes get real tight and you got to hit that one board, I think I'm going to be better than them to keep me in the scoring pace. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Keith, but because it's a grind. But that's why I assembled the team that I assembled. Tashawn, 430 rev rate. Drew, 490 rev rate. 390 is snack. So everybody, I bowl with a group with really high rev rates, so I'm seeing it. So when I get to regionals and they pair me up, I'm seeing it. But that's what people don't get. For me, league is practice. I'm there to have fun with my friends, and I'm there to practice.
I think to answer Ethics' question there too about if a more expensive ball would help, and you were kind of talking about this at the very beginning and talking about whether or not somebody should have a more expensive ball or less expensive ball, and I think you said it perfectly, which is you got to find the ball that works for you. A lot of those, the more expensive balls have a tendency to also be the balls that have really big motors in them. And the less expensive balls generally are going to be smaller core balls that somebody who's got a bigger rev rate. There's a lot of big rev rate guys that never even touch the big core balls. Those $280 balls out there that are huge cores, big motors, you will never even see them touch the lane. You don't see the pros throwing a lot of those balls. They throw more of the mid-range balls because of rev rates. They're just too big a motor. But for guys who just are kind of down and in and don't have a ton on it, those big motors can be beneficial. Now, it can also hurt you because it can run out of energy. But if you're having trouble getting the ball to come back, sometimes a bigger motor ball actually can be helpful. So I think that just hits the point which you were talking about finding the ball that it needs to match their game, what works for what it is that they're trying to accomplish.
But the key to that, Keith, is you have to be so confident in you that you're willing to throw what is best for you, not what you see on the shelf.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, if you see 20 other people in the league using it, okay, you have to be confident enough to use it. Like for me, I will pull a Rhino green and silver out my bag in a minute. Everybody like, Coach, you kidding me? You throw every ball in the world and you got a $60 ball? Yeah, I sure do. You kidding me right now? But I'll light you up with it. All right, so we got R&R. Your explanation of your release helped me with all my equipment. It wasn't the ball, it was me. User error. I say that all the time, guys. I got 4 balls across the spectrum, and the release helped me reach the next level in my game. Well, I'm glad, Art, that we were able to help you. And believe it or not, that's a problem for all of us. I mean, even when you're at Keith's level, my level, we are still always evolving, always improving. I know I am. I always am changing something. How about you, Keith?
Oh, yeah. My last 2 videos were me taking people to practice with me and showing them the things I'm working on because I've got faults in my game I'm trying to get better at.
Yeah, got to. I mean, always, always, always. And guys, listen, I'm going to tell you what. I'll bet you me and Keith probably don't have the same balls in our bag. And I'll bet you when we go to tournaments, we don't have the same balls in our bag then because I don't take what everybody's taking. I take what I'm going to take. When I'm on the lanes and I break down that practice session for what I'm going to see, I'm taking what's going to work for me. I don't care what everybody else has got. Does that ever weigh into what you're using?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a series of equipment that I know that if it's a short pattern, I'm going to go with these balls. If it's a longer pattern, I'm going to go with these other balls based on how I throw the ball. There's a lot of overlap. There are balls that never leave my bag, but there's times where I'm taking them because the lanes may break down and let me get into that ball. But I can tell you before we even start, I'm probably going to most likely throw one of these 3 or 4 balls most of the tournament based on what the pattern is. But it's going to be specific to my game and it's going to be different depending on the pattern.
Okay. And see, I'm the same way. I have a group of balls that I know that I wait for the lanes to get to a certain point. And then when they do, I know I can increase my scoring pace huge by getting into 1 to 3. But also, I know what works for me. That's where practice come in. There are certain balls that I roll better than any others. I don't know why they blend with me, with the lane, with all surfaces actually. And that's a really big part of bowling, understanding your game, self-evaluating, self-scouting, looking at making your weaknesses your strengths. That's the goal of competing, right? But that's why I opened it up for nationals for all of you guys to come so you guys can see how it is to compete. You never get down on yourself, always having a great time. Sean, no, we never stop. And like tonight in the live, you'll see we don't ever stop. We just continue to have fun, joke. It doesn't matter if I'm bowling great, bowling bad, because again, for me, I won't lie to anybody. It's practice. And I'm trying to hit a certain scores to give a ball away to everybody. So, okay, so let's get in this craze. You? Oh, yeah. You got it coming. It's in a pro shop.
No, I'm saying you got to bowl a 641. I'm going to keep picking 641 until you actually bowl it.
I'm trying to do something crazy. I think people should roll whatever they roll well. I agree with that craze, and that's regardless of price. If it fits you, but craze. The problem is, how do you know if it fits you? Here, Keith, you've been bowling for how many years?
44.
Okay, so if we walked into a pro shop and I said, "Keep pick any one ball that you want," how do you know if that ball's gonna fit you or not?
So, for starters, for me, because I have a large arsenal of stuff, I'm looking for holes in my arsenal and what I want to fill that hole with. So that's the first thing for me. So it depends on if I'm trying to replace a ball or if I'm trying to fill a hole of a ball. So if I'm trying to replace a ball, I do look at numbers. I look at cover stocks and numbers and other things. And I also watch some ball reviews just to try to determine, like, does it look like maybe it's getting a kind of reaction like I'm seeing? Ball reviews are really challenging because of what they're bowling on. So you never really know. It's not even just how they throw the ball, but what they're throwing it on can be so different from pattern to pattern. But that's usually my starting point. But from there, it really is kind of a crapshoot. I can narrow it down significantly into, I know I want a solid, I know I want a pearl, I know I want a hybrid, I know I want something that's long and flippy, or I want something that is more, gradual and rounded. So that can lead me into whether I want something symmetrical or asymmetrical, whether I want something that has a high differential or not. Like if I want something that is maybe for a little tougher or a little drier patterns, I might go with a lower diff ball so that it can, build oil on itself and roll over that. So there's a lot of little factors that I'm looking for, but I will tell you, I am far from being 100% perfect on saying, I need this ball, I think this is going to fit it, so I'm going to buy that ball, and it works. It usually works. I'm usually right, but I also think I probably could have picked 7 different balls and any of them would have probably fit what I was looking for the most part, because there's so much overlap in equipment.
It is.
But it is a little bit of a crapshoot. There's been equipment I've purchased though that just has not really worked and really fit for me. Now I will say, for anybody out there that has experienced that, the first thing you should do before you do anything else, if you throw a ball and you're like, this ball sucks, the first thing you should do is change the surface. And I know, Coach, you talk about that all the time, how you knock off whatever's on there and you put your own stuff on there, what works for you also. Surface is king. So and even if it's like, oh, I want something sanded, and you buy something sanded and it doesn't work, throw some polish on there. Maybe you'll love it. It's nothing to resurface a ball. So go do that. See if that changes the ball, changes the reaction into something that you like. Try that first. If that still doesn't work, if you want to sell a single drill ball, then go ahead and sell it. But if you aren't looking to necessarily just sell it, plug it and re-drill it with a different layout. I had a ball that was drilled, pinned down. The thing was an absolute turd. I took it into the pro shop. I said, I hate this thing. And he said, well, no wonder, this layout's terrible. They changed the layout, and I absolutely fell in love with the ball. It was amazing. I changed just by changing the layout. That was all we did. So there are things that you can do with a ball to make a ball that maybe you thought was a turd and actually make it be somewhat decent as well. But I have had some that is like, yeah, this ball was not what I thought it was going to be. I'll sometimes get a ball thinking it's going to fit a certain spot and find out it doesn't fit that spot. So I'll put it in a different spot, or maybe it becomes a redundancy to what I have, but then I have to go back to the drawing board and get something else that will fill that spot.
Because sometimes numbers
it's a challenge.
You hear me? Sometimes
yeah.
numbers.
Oh yeah, the numbers are the hardest thing to trust, because there are so many balls. I'll have 2 balls that the numbers couldn't be farther apart, but the ball reaction looks exactly the same. And I have balls that have the numbers exactly the same, but the balls could not be more different in how they react. So numbers are the most deceiving thing if you rely only on that more than anything else. I actually was starting a video. I ended up not posting it because it ended up being 45 minutes long, and I'm like, that's way too long of a video. But it was going to be on all of the factors that you have to look at with a ball. You've got your surface type, solid, pearl, hybrid, urethane, etc. Then you got your surface prep on 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, polished, not polished, all of those factors that you have to take into account. Symmetrical versus asymmetrical, high RG, low RG, high differential, low differential, and then the layout on top of that, how you actually lay it out. When you take all of those things, it's like every one ball, if you take one ball and you change the surface on it and you change the location of your layout on it, that one ball can become 3 or 4 different balls. And then you multiply that by all of the different balls out there. Suddenly there's like you take the 60 balls that you talked about, and suddenly there's actually like 500 balls that you technically can make just by changing all of these things on there. So it's really, really challenging to really trust anything out there because of all the things you can do on it. I think the most important things, more than anything else, is your solid hybrid pearl. the finish that you put on that particular thing. And I do think symmetrical and asymmetrical does make quite a bit of difference on flipping versus a little more rounded shape. I do notice quite a bit of difference between those. So those are probably the three first and foremost factors I narrow things down to before I even look at numbers.
But what you just said is the key to today is you have to narrow down for you what you're looking for. So if you're looking for a solid, you not narrow that down. Then it becomes, okay, so am I better with asim or symmetrical? You narrow that down, right? And then you get into the numbers. Do I want a strong cover or a weaker cover? You narrow that down. That's how you can figure out how it's all going to work. And crazy, you're not wrong in what you're saying. You're saying all the things that you said today that we've had up here that you won't know until you roll the ball. That's true. However, if you can narrow it down, you can save yourself a lot of headache because you can narrow it down. Less like the optimum idle, right? Why would you ever have an optimal idle if you have an attention star? Yes, the shape isn't the exact same. However, it's really similar. So if you have one, you wouldn't need the other. Now, but that's where watching ball reviews can hurt you, because if you watch 5 ball reviews and 4 of them say it's the next greatest thing, then in your head, what do you think? Shiny object. Now, I challenge you to do this, even to me. If you see a ball review by me, mute it. Mute it. Just watch the ball. Not the commentary, not the person rolling it. Just watch the ball. Watch and see if you can tell when that ball is reading on the lane, right? So if you're looking for something in the mid lane, watch it. See how far to the mid lane it gets. And watch. If it gets to 35 feet, but it doesn't get through the pins well, guess what? That may not be the ball for you. Also, when you're looking at a ball review, another thing you got to take into account, the ball shape will always be the ball shape. Let's be honest, because it will. It'll always look the same. But rev rate comes into play. If you see Charles throwing a shot and he's lined up throwing the ball 22-5, and your rev rate is only 200, that probably ain't the shot for you. Now, does the ball going to look, is it going to shape the same? Yes, but you might need to take that into account. You understand what I'm saying? So Keith said it best himself. If you play an up and in, having that big engine ASIM, it may not be what you need. But then again, the IQ Ruby may not be what you need either. You might need something in between. But that's where knowing what you're looking for comes into play. And that's all I'm saying. I know guys right now with 6 balls that they got sitting at home, not that they never use them, and they paid $1,700 for them, but they don't match their game. But they're like, hey, I seen these reviews, and they were like, this is the best thing since Wonder Bread. Well, when you're on staff, of course it's the best thing since Wonder Bread. I'll do you guys a challenge. Here's a challenge, right? Here's a challenge. So, and I'll give you a surprise gift. If you can find the next balls that are dropping, someone on staff who says the ball sucks, I'll give you a Bad Bowling jersey. Keep this, it's open to you too. If you can find a staffer that says a ball sucks, I will give you a free jersey. Do you know why I'm willing to do that? Because you won't find one. That's why.
The closest thing you'll find is you'll find some people that might say, I wouldn't throw this on the fresh, but I would throw this on this. So like they might do a caveat to that, but they'll never say the ball sucks.
No, you're right. That's not what they do, because I don't think they're conditioned to be able to do it. All right. So El Boogie said that he'll throw a ball for a month before re-drilling it. See, I'm different. I ain't never re-drilling any. I don't like the way a ball. It's going to sound weird. I don't like the symmetry of the ball when it's re-drilled. I can see the difference. Now, maybe it's just me, but I can really see the difference. But then again, I'm different. I have so many balls that I don't have to re-drill it. That makes sense? That's why I'm like, look, it's got to go. Okay, so Cruz said, Clay said that's what he's saying.
Sean,
What you laughing at,
what's
Sean?
Sean cracking up about over here?
Crazy said, remember you didn't know how much you were gonna love the Crusher until you rolled it, then you fell in love.
Yeah, you keep it up, Craze. You got jokes. That ball. Have you thrown that ball yet, Keith? The Crusher?
No.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, I heard you say it. I heard you say it sucks.
Oh my! Listen, don't do it. I can't wait to see what JR says about that ball. but they send it. I think JR, because of his pro shop, he's on the whatchamacallit. That thing where they send you 2 or 3 balls of each ball, the demo balls. So that ball sucks. Okay, I'd rather go.
I could see how good or bad it is if someone had ever sent it to me.
Well, listen, I'm busy, but it's at the pro shop. We good. Hey, it's not like I'm going in there and plug it myself. I could, but I'm not going to. That's too much work. Cover
Just bring
stock.
it to nationals with you, and whenever we're going, that'll work.
Hey, ethics. You know what? What you said is true, but it's also not true. You said cover stock don't have numbers. Yeah, you can figure out if a cover stock's strong or not. Every manufacturer has their cover list. So you can go and look at their scale. It's a scale that they have. And you can tell on their scale what the cover stock actually, how strong it actually is. For like the Magic Gem, if you looked at the scale on the Magic Gem's cover is just as strong as the regular gem. So all of them have it. Keith, you looked that stuff up, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, Brandon and Sean. Sean, I know you don't look that stuff up. You probably
Yeah.
Brandon, do you
I mean,
look
that was one of.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, I do the diff, and I have a spreadsheet of all my bowling balls with all the numbers.
No, you don't go to the manufacturer. So like for track, you don't go to tracks. You go. All you gotta do is type in a Google track cover stock, and
not on the
there's
cover
a list.
stock. I didn't know that.
There's a list that tells you the strength of each cover stock. Like they have a list that's at the bottom and then all the way to the top for strength. All of them do. You guys don't. Oh man,
It's the same thing. That's also I don't know if any of you ever see the Bowler's Journal, but Bowler's Journal, whenever there's new releases, they always have a chart that has all the new balls out, and it's a grid, and on one side is going to be the strength, so it's going to be the strength of cover stock, and I think the other one's maybe back end. I want to say I can't remember exactly what the other number is.
But for those who don't get the Bowler's Journal, it's easy as you see a bowling ball you like, you type. So say the Storm AI. So go to Storm cover stocks, and then you'll look at the TX16 on that list, and it'll have it show you where the cover is. So you can see the degree of strength in the cover. And then, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do next week when we come in, I'm going to do a screen share and we're going to go over it. We're going to pull it all up. That way you guys can see it for yourselves, because this is part of the education and evolution of your bowling game. Because if you understand what you're buying, then your misses on bowling balls will become far less. Unless you're like me, who do a review on all of them, which we're going to do something different. I'm going to start reviewing balls you guys want me to. How's that? I'm going to put the whole list of them out, and you guys say yes or no. I hope you don't say yes to a bunch of crushers, though. That would be bad.
You only hate that ball because it's red.
No, that's the only reason why
ball suck.
No, that's the reason why I got it, because I'm a red lover of everything. So, okay, I don't know if you've been around long enough, Keith, to know this. I'm colorblind. So I only see certain colors. So because I only see certain colors, I like to throw the colors. I can't that's why you don't see me throwing black balls. I can't see them. I can't. So when I'm bowling, I watch the rotation of the ball. It tells me when it's starting, the core's starting to kick, so I can tell when it's moving into the mid lane, when it's picking up. So that's a problem for me, because I know, as you probably don't look at that at all. You probably just, I don't know how do you do yours? You don't look at it, do you?
I look for like visually what I like to see. Like some balls that are swirled helps me because I can see the swirl moving, so it helps me see.
Okay.
But actually, the thing that gives me the best, and I will tell you, Motive was the best at this. I used to throw Motive exclusively for many years. I've been switching over to some brands of Brunswick lately just to try them out. So all my latest ones have all been Brunswick. But with Motive, they do such a good job of having their logos. Not only they're in a place to where you can see them, and they're usually color like opposite of the ball so much. Like if you
Right.
use the Venom Shock as an example, I can see the M on that Venom Shock moving down the lane. It's much like sticking a piece of tape on your ball without having to put a piece of tape on your ball. So being able to see that is actually gives me the best feedback. I will take a ball where I can see a logo that's just shifted a little bit off to the left of my hand. I don't want it to be on my pat because I hate seeing it spin. But if it's like closer to my fingers and I can see it rotating, then I can read the ball better than anything else, if that's the case.
So you're also visual like me then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Or add a lime streak to help too.
So
Yeah.
a black ball or a ball like the optimal idol, the wait, is it the idol? The
Purple one,
gray one, the idol pro. Which one is that? I think it's the
the gray
optimal
one.
idol. No, yeah, the one before the optimal idol. It's the what one? The idol pro, the grayish one.
Oh,
I can't read that ball. So you'll be able to tell right away if you watch me do a ball review, you should be able to tell if I can see the ball or not. Because if you see me stand there, I can't see it because I'm trying to figure out. Then it's about picking a spot on the lane and throwing it that way. Yeah, the Ion Pro. Then it's a matter of me picking a spot on the lane and then throwing it to that spot. And if it turns off the spot, then I'm good. But
yeah.
I don't tend to throw balls that I can't see very well. So that's why. But the crusher, I can see it. It just sucks.
You know, it's funny because when I practice, when I go, because I also try not to wear out equipment I like to throw all the time. So sometimes I'll throw older stuff when I'm practicing because I don't care about score anyways. It's about am I releasing it correct? Am I sliding correct? Like the things I'm working on is what I care about. And what I love to take with practice are a lot of the motive balls because I can read what the ball's doing. And it really helps me to see if I do this to my hand, what is it doing to the ball? Or if I do this differently, what is it doing to the ball? Because I can see it. Now, when I actually bowl in turn with other things, I have things like the theorem, which is it's mostly a solid. I mean, it's purple and red, but they're so close to each other. It just looks like a dark ball going down the lane. I see nothing moving on that ball when I throw it. It just goes, and then all of a sudden it turns left. So it's hard to read. But there's something about that too that looks cool because I'm not expecting it to hook, and all of a sudden, bam, it hooks on me. I'm not seeing the ball spin.
I can't see that ball for crap, but it's still sitting in there. I'm not getting rid of that. But you know what we did? We put white tips and then the white slug thing, right? So I can see that rotating. But on the black ball, I can't even see that. It's just crazy. But it's insane. But that's how I predicate a lot of stuff. Like I want to throw, like it's weird. I can see the Rhino Till, but I can see the logo on it. So I want to see the white Rhino. I'm really, really looking forward to throwing that ball. And nobody else might want to see it, but I want to throw it.
That was the first one I was going to say. Since you're asking for recommendations, I'm very curious about that one too.
No, so we're
Rhino
gonna
Pro was my favorite back in the day.
So I'm gonna put the recommendations up. You guys can pick what you want. We'll throw whatever. And if you guys pick something I don't want to throw, I got Tashawn and I got Abby. So and Brian. And remember, we're gonna throw some swag balls in there too. I mean, they got balls named the GOAT and the Ace of Spade and all that. I got some of that stuff got to be thrown. I mean, if it's good, we'll keep it. If it's not, so be it. Look, Craig said that his arsenal. He said his arsenal's full. That's a great thing when it's full. And then he said they're always looking to upgrade, but new don't mean better. And that's another problem I got. I'll get a ball, and because league is practice to me, I'll roll it just because. I know it sounds messed up, but it's true. I'll roll it just because. And I think I'm going to start taking the same bag with me every week. But I'll switch out balls every week, though. The Magic Gem and the Ion Pro. The Ion Max. Yeah, Ion Max. I just like the colors. It's weird. So them two I'll switch out, but everything else is going to stay the same. But I am going to shoot a 300 next few weeks, I think. And then I'm going to go back to being normal. What? Gotta have fun, man. Geek's like, really? Yeah, you can't call it 300.
Great. I'm not laughing at the 300. I'm laughing at that. Then I go back to normal part.
Yeah, I go back to normal part. I mean, it is what it. Listen, it's league. It's league. It's really league. Oh, listen. So I'm gonna tell you guys something before I get off. And if anybody makes fun of me for this, I'm gonna block you. No, I'm just kidding. So I went to the bowling alley yesterday to practice. So Chuck's in a pro shop. Chuck's my guy, man. I mean, out of all the bowling people that I've met, he's probably one of the best. He's 78-year-old pro shop operator. Tell him, Sean, he's amazing.
He's great. I love him.
He is. He's amazing. So I was like, hey, Chuck, I need you to come out here, man. I'm having some problems. He's like, you? I'm like, yeah. So I go out there, and he comes out. He's watching me. He's like, well, what's the problem? Like, your mechanics is great. You're good. So he goes back into the pro shop. So I'm tinkering. So I go to roll the ball, and it falls off my hand. And I'm like, that's weird. So I pick up my ball. Now, I use the it. Everybody knows what it's are, right? So I look at my ball, and in my it, there ain't no tape. And then I thought about it. Right after Nationals, I pulled all the tape out of my it, and I never put it back in there. See, so Sean, you remember 2 weeks ago, I was like, I got no leverage on this ball. Remember that?
Yeah.
Because I ain't had no tape in it, man. My thumb was falling out of the ball.
Oh.
So I start putting tape in, rolling, and got comfortable. So, yeah. And then you know what I did yesterday? I shot 300. Yeah, you hear me? So yesterday I shot 300. And I felt like the dumbest person in the world. And Chuck came out. He's like, what did you do? And I'm like, I told him. And he was like, So I was like, don't tell nobody, Chuck. He's like, what? I said, don't you tell nobody I did that. Because I preach fit. Dude, I must have been losing my mind temporarily. So, yeah, even coach is stupid. I have stupid moments. And I think I don't feel it because I wear tape on the back of my thumb. So when you put it in there, the pressure, you feel like it's good. But then when you get down into right when you're loading up on the ball, I must have been squeezing it and not really, But I got it so taped up now that I'm ready. Watch this. Sean, you got tape in your ball?
No.
Brandon, you got tape in your ball?
No, I put it on my thumb, and I have three different sizes that I.
Keith, you got tape in your ball?
Absolutely, I do. Lots of it. Snug.
And y'all two better learn to do it too. It should be super snug.
I tape feels icky.
What? Y'all better get him.
Why do you guys have so many thumb holes?
You mean thumb slugs?
He buys
Yes.
balls for what they look like, and tape is icky, so that makes a lot of sense.
Do you buy the? Do you get thumb inserts based on what they look like too? Like the Joe Post swirl colored ones that are really pretty.
I might start.
You really, Sean?
I didn't know I could get more variety in my thumb slugs.
I'm done. Keith, I'm gonna send him down there to Missouri to deal with you. You see what I'm dealing with? You see what I'm dealing with? Sean,
I wanted a purple one, but Chuck wouldn't make it for me.
I got nothing. I got. What do your girlfriend think of this?
He's like, yeah, yeah. He's like, why do you have so many? And I'm like, because I don't want to put tape in them.
You still got to though, dude. Listen,
Wait,
do
so
you know
he-
what? Listen,
so he-
I'm gonna tell anybody that does a yo-yo release. I'm gonna tell you why it's important. Keith, I bet you don't even know why it's important.
Why tape is important, or why a snug fit is important?
Why super snug fit is important.
I know. I believe I know why a snug fit's important. But go ahead.
The
That's
reason
why
why
I
is
have a
because
snug fit.
if it's really snug, you gotta force it off. It gets you in that habit at the bottom, hitting at the bottom. It's super duper important. That's why it's important. And you'll get through, and it's so clean, it's so smooth, it's so effortless. And not to mention, if it gets caught up on your thumb, that means you turn sideways and you're oval, you're not getting out clean. That's on you. User error. User error.
Or you squeeze it, and bent your thumb right here, and you made your thumb wider and got it stuck in there.
Yep.
I always preach hinging. I always preach hinge right here, not don't hinge here, hinge there, get it flat, snug, and all you gotta do is that, and it'll just fly right off your thumb.
Yep.
I mean, I can stick my thumb in, and I can pick the ball up and put it right back down, and all I have to do is do that, and the ball will fall right off my hand. But I can pick it up without by doing that.
But that's why it's important, because you get out of the ball cleaner.
Yeah.
It's that motion right there. I know that right there, that motion. You're ejecting it off the hand, ejecting it. Get off me. I'm telling you, smoothest
It's
thing.
exactly why also, short of seeing somebody throw like a 9-pound ball, it's also why you never see anybody, not just because they have bad technique, but you never see somebody grab a 15 or 16-pound ball off of the rack and be able to throw it with a ton of revs on it, because the ball doesn't fit them. If it doesn't fit them, you can't have a perfect release like that.
Yep, it's about fit. Most important.
Give me 30 pieces of tape, and I'll make an alley ball fit me nicely if you give me 30 pieces of tape.
I believe you, but I ain't doing it. But but seriously, guys, if one thing you get about today is this, two things. First thing you get about today is take your time, do things right for you. Figure out for you. Don't be that shiny the cat thing, where you have the thing out there. That don't do that. Second thing is fit. And I see somebody laughing, so somebody must have said something about Sean.
Wait, why did that be about me?
Uh-oh.
Because you're the one who knows that looking good is half the battle.
I'm done. He ain't looking good with a pink thumb slug. I'm going to tell you that now. A purple. I mean, listen, you know what? Pink shoes is okay. It's breast cancer month. After this month, you can't wear them no more, though.
I'm more so just getting them for like the sport of the more so just I'm probably gonna keep wearing the red ones, but
I'm just saying. I mean, you can. I mean, I'm just messing with you. You know what, Sean? You can be as pretty as you want to be, as long as if your girlfriend good with it, we all good with it.
That's why he has the purple slug, because she told him to get it.
No, she didn't. I know his girlfriend, and she did not tell me to get a purple slug. You know how I know? Because she wouldn't have one.
she wouldn't let me spend the money. She would be like, "You have one, you have two. That's all you need."
Yeah, I mean, listen, I got 6 slugs myself, but all of them got heavy tape in them. They do now because I took time yesterday to throw each ball and load up each slug. I should say I took each slug, put them in, and threw until I got them comfortable. And if it's cold in there tonight, my hand will shrink and I'll be loading more tape in. I want to have so much tape in that when I go to release the ball, if I don't get out of it clean, the ball stays there. Y'all didn't think that was funny? Coach flying down the lane wouldn't be cool?
No, because then I'm down a coach and a teammate.
Hey, man, you know what? Y'all got to laugh a little bit, man. Life is fun. Listen, I got 6 slugs. Keith, I bet you got like, 4, 5, or 6 slugs too?
I've got 6. I've got 4 in my bag and 2 in balls, and they're all. I've got 2 that are the same size, because one's in my spare ball, one's in my strike ball. I don't like to switch back and forth between strike and spare. But I will, if I switch from ball to ball, I'll take the one out and switch it over. That way they're all, and I've got them fitting perfectly. And then I've got 2 that are sized up, and then I've got 2 that are sized down. So if it's cold or if it's hot, then I can adjust accordingly.
How about you, Brandon?
I have 3.
At least
No,
you
I
didn't
have
say you
4.
got one. Does anybody not have thumb slugs? Does anybody just have the regular?
I will tell you, I used to not have thumb slugs until I started bowling tournaments because my thumb actually, for some weird reason, my thumb would never change sizes in a 3-game league. If it would change from like day to day because it was hot or cold, I could put a piece of tape in or out, but it was very rarely I ever had to adjust. But when I started bowling tournaments, I have to adjust during the tournament, switch to a different slug because my thumb will swell as I get hotter and hotter. So I have to have them now.
You know why I can't use just regular slugs? Because they all feel different. And I'm a guy, I need to feel. I need everything to feel the same. It's not pink. Sean, this was for you too.
It's not thinking Stan.
Yeah, that's for you too, bro. That's no, I got orange, red, black, white, green, money green. That is. Yep. Hey Keith, did you get your number in for me tonight, man?
No, I haven't, but I'll shoot it over.
Yeah, make sure you get it in. My wife put $8.99. I tell you, crazy.
Well, now that you remember to put some tape in your thumb, the score is going to be higher than it's been lately.
It may be.
I think that first number might be a 7 tonight.
You know what? It might be. We want to see though. I can't lie to you. I'm gonna be live, so my focus. Yeah,
As long as he gets his camera set up during practice rather than during the first game, so he can focus.
It was set up during practice last time. I forgot to hit the play button, which put me behind the ball. Which, oh man, it's complicated. So we're gonna be live tonight, though. And yes, my wife's standing right here. You know, say hi, and she put $8.99 in the chat. I told her, you crazy. There's my better half, love of my life. But yeah, for real though. Heck, man, you crazy. I tell you crazy. $8.99. I get 110 pin, and that's at the last ball. What are you doing? A shirt. Oh. Representing. Oh, she's wearing her bad bolo hoodie. She wanted y'all to see that. Either that or her butt, one or the other. She says she's representing. She ain't going bowling. My wife hates bowling.
Now that topic, that's a whole other completely
listen. Listen, you know what? I'm gonna get off here. 8 minutes. I'm getting off at 4:30 because I gotta get ready to go. This is what I'm gonna say. Beef and Barnsley is funny as I don't know what, dude. I laugh more watching them because Stu is funny. He needs his own comedy show. Stu is. Yeah, we both live tonight. Yep. Stu is off the hook. So I'm a big fan of him, of his temperament, his disposition, not his bowling. I'm a big fan of Chris Barnes' bowling, and JR is my dude. JR keeps it 100. Now, on the topic they were talking about, old school game to new school game, I'm 100% with JR. 100%. It's true. If you took Walter Ray in his prime and him into today, to not where he learned how to bowl in today's game, but he used his styles in to bowl right now, he would not be Walter Ray. Because if you look at Walter Ray now and looked at him 20 years ago, his rev rate hasn't increased. So I tend to listen, athletes evolve. Athletes get better over time. The game's change. It's not the same. So I agree with JR in that. Chris Barnes is a prime example. When Chris Barnes back in the 90s, he was one way. He just happened to evolve with it. But if you look, his evolution still isn't there now. So the game changed. It's no longer about finesse. It's all about power. And cutting through 35 mils at 43 feet, I'm telling you what, man, that 550 rev rate that EJ got, Belmo got, all the man. Y'all, you know what? Y'all watch the TV, but y'all ain't watch this. Who has everybody watched White Man Can't Jump? Tashawn, I know you ain't seen it. You're the only
No,
one
I've
here.
seen it. I've seen that one. I've seen that one.
Okay. You can hear Jimmy, but you can't hear Jimmy. It's that reference. Because, okay, here's the example. Keith, you've been to PBA regionals. How many?
10 or 12.
Okay. Tell them how insane the rev rates are when you walk through the building.
Oh, I feel like I have a decent rev rate, and I'm probably in the bottom decile for sure of everybody in that building. And that's a regional tour. That's not even a national tour.
That's my point. The average Joe who gets mad about this discussion doesn't understand what they're seeing. I'm between 430 and 450. And guess what? I'll walk into a PBA regional and I'm in the bottom half. Can you imagine that? 450 rev rate, and you're in the bottom part of the rev rate. You see where we're going with this? Oh, and congratulations. I seen that 417 you did the other day, Keith.
What's that? Oh, it's the 417.
Yeah, 417.
Oh, the 417, right? Yeah, getting my rev rate up a little bit. Yeah,
I've seen that.
Yeah, hitting 400 for the first time. Yeah. I thought you were talking about a series. I'm like, I didn't shoot a 417. That's hey. Yes, yeah. Every little accomplishment I can get there is great. The thing I will say about JR, here's my thoughts on JR. I love JR Raymond when he makes his initial comments, and when he makes his initial comments, he is incredibly misunderstood, and people get butthurt, and then they throw fits about what they misunderstood. And then this is where I have issues, is because like he is the kind of person who will dish it back, and I'm the kind of person who I try to always take the high road and let it go. So we're just different personalities in that way, and it's fine. I don't discredit him for that. It's just we're different people. But what happens is in this particular argument, he made that argument, and I knew right away. I knew from his initial comment that what he meant was if you take their game, the game they had, and implement that game today, it would not work.
Right.
But what people heard was that Walter Ray would not be able to figure out how to increase his rev rate and compete with those guys. That's what they heard, and that's what they complained about. And that isn't what he said, but instead of just saying, that isn't what I said that you changed your game. Then he started jumping in. He started making some comments that I disagreed with. Like he said, Walter Ray tried throwing two-handed and he couldn't cut it because he doesn't have the ability. And I'm like, whoa, he's 60 years old trying to go to two-handed. Take Walter Ray when he's 25 and have him try two-handed. You can't say that he would have been shut out. He might have been fine. He might have been shut out, might not have been able to do it, but he might have been. You can't say for sure he wouldn't be able to do it. So you can't argue that these guys, had they grown up today, wouldn't have been able to do it. But that wasn't his initial argument, and the whole thing got blown out of proportion. It's the exact same thing as the layouts don't matter discussion. He was saying layouts don't matter to the average person, to the average 180 average guy who throws a 250 rev rate down there, that you can't tell the difference in your little changes in layouts. It matters.
Right.
Guys who have 15 balls and go to tournaments. And of course, that other, I forget what the other Facebook page is, but they had a field day with that and just ripped him apart. And it became this battle back and forth between each other, calling him stupid, he doesn't know what he's talking about, and him bashing them back. And it just was this big battle, all because they misunderstood what his point was and didn't take it for what it was actually worth.
JR's like the bad boy of bowling, isn't he? He had to think with Simo earlier too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And like the dude is smart. He knows what he's talking about. The dude is smart. The dude's really good. The dude is honest. Like he's got everything perfect there. His only thing that he falls victim of is he doesn't take crap, and his crap leads into ongoing battles back and forth because it just becomes a battle of two sides, two stubborn sides that will never give in. And it becomes a big battle. But he admits that. He says that right in front. You give me crap, I'm gonna give you crap back. If you can't
he told you. But that's what I love about him. I'm gonna go up to Michigan and hang out with him. I'm gonna go. I am, guys. For you guys, I'm gonna go. I'm doing it for me, but I'm gonna document it. I'm gonna go up to CJR, and I'm gonna go and check out True Cut guy too. I'm gonna start going to see some people.
Hickland.
Yeah. He's probably one of the smartest people you'll meet. But so is JR though. JR's brilliant. But the problem is he don't. Hey, Sean, Jr. Like I am off camera, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody know me. I'm 100. You either like me, you don't. I am who I am. Period. But I'm starting to, as my mellow, I'm starting to get a little better though. Just a bit, because A takes the play. You know, it's that A type personality. So my coach A, who's down in Florida, he takes the void, so I can be a little more mellow at my old age. My son will tell you I'm not, but
Your old age.
yeah, I'm old, man. I'm old. That's why what I'm doing with my bowling game is more impressive. I'm 49. You can do the transformations I've done. At my age, that's impressive. Your age, Sean, you should be able to do a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, you're behind the curve. Matter of fact, when you start beating Abby on a regular basis, then you know.
Man.
What's on Sean
And that's not a knock. They battle. She lost him to sleep like a baby.
Yeah. I be letting my guard down.
Yeah, hey, she will throw. I think she'll do it on purpose. She'll throw 3 bad shots in a row, and you'll see his guard just do this. Look. And then she'll bang the next 6, 7 in a row on him, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm done."
I think it's worse that he lost to Conley than to lose to Abby. So he's got a lot more making up to do to get back on.
Oh yeah. Oh no, she beats him worse than Conley did.
Oh
yeah, no. Yeah.
That's what I said. I should just match her up against Conley. I don't think she'll beat her.
What's it called? We were bowling like in practice, but on that same day of that video, I beat her like 260 to like 230, and then we both got on camera and she whooped me. she whooped me.
She loved, and I told him too. I said, Sean, do not let her lull you to sleep. What happened? Whooping.
I didn't listen.
Whooping. All right, but look, I gotta get dressed and go. And I gotta figure out OBS too. Keith, you ever use OBS?
I don't know what that is. So no.
It's a software thing, Majig, that I don't know how to use.
No.
Yeah,
no.
you can go ahead and say
okay. I've only done a live once, and I had to shut it off because the Wi-Fi was so bad it kept cutting out. So I have not done a live since then, and so that's why I've been sticking. Like I'm doing my league tonight. I'm actually going to film because the guy I'm bowling against has been whining that the last time we bowled, I didn't post our video because the sound didn't record. So I'm bowling it tonight, and he wants me to record it, but I'm not doing it live. So I said I'll put it in, I'll edit it, get it down to a reasonable length, and put it out there. So
watch, I'm gonna change my camera to
editing.
OBS. Watch this. Oh, it don't have nothing there.
Nope.
I've been working on this for hours too. Okay, this is dumb, but I'm looking at it right now in the thing. So now what do I got to do? You know what? I don't even care.
It's showing your camera with a line through it. Like you might have to hit a button to activate the camera or something.
Really? Oh, wait. Maybe it's this one.
That's my guess.
Nope, that ain't it either. See, look, there's 2 different cameras. OBS virtual in device. Hold on. I don't know. It's all right, though, because I'm going to get off here, and then I'm going to take a shower, get dressed, and then that'll give me enough time to where I can go. Wait, am I back on camera? Yeah, okay. It'll give me enough time to where I'm able to tinker with it. And if not, then I can just use StreamYard, which is not a big deal. But I would like to be able to use OBS. That's why, Sean, they told you to call somebody. Sean just disappeared on us. All right, guys. It was a pleasure. Hey, make sure you guys go and subscribe to the Ball Brothers. You got any other social media?
I'm on TikTok. I have an Instagram. I don't do much with it. And I'm on Facebook, but TikTok is the main one I'm trying to get up so I can do some lives on TikTok as well. But mostly it's YouTube. That's where I do most of my stuff.
I'm done with you, Craze. I'm done with you. You and that crusher, man. You gotta leave me alone with that. That ball is horrible. It's like Charles Barkley. Terrible, 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 terrible. It's like, you know, the crusher reminds me of Charles Barkley's golf swing. Anybody ever seen that? It's horrible. It's just horrible. All right, so Sean, call your dude to help with OBS because I don't know what I'm doing with it. Everybody subscribe to Keith at Ball Brothers. He is awesome. Brandon, I can't even help you. You're friends with Connolly. You just is what it is.
Hey, but I get to start bowling again next week. We're finally opening back up. So
that's what's up. And you're Texas, right?
Yeah, San Angelo.
I would say when I come down there, I'm gonna bowl with you, but I'm not going to Texas.
You ain't coming this far. We'll have to meet in Dallas.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to Texas. Dallas, absolutely not. No,
come on.
I'm anti-Dallas. Actually, you know what? I might because there's a fight coming up. Javante Davis and all them are fighting in Dallas. Houston. Yeah,
Houston. I'm done with Houston. 9 years was enough.
Well, I'm a big boxing fan, so Hey, but listen, Brandon, you going to Nationals, right?
Planning on it.
Keith, when are y'all going? Oh, you muted.
I've actually not been to Nationals before, but I am going this year, this next year in Arkansas. So my buddy, I'm joining with his group, so he hasn't told me when it is yet. I'll definitely let you know that once I know that.
Let me know. And you're going to be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, sorry, Louisiana. Yeah, I was thinking Little Rock, but yeah, Baton Rouge.
If it's going to be in Arkansas, we're going to have some problems, okay? Because then you're just going to be by yourself. I'm looking forward to going to Myrtle Beach a couple years, South Carolina. But I need them to go back to my neck of the woods, New York, Pennsylvania. Let's get some real East Coast bowling in. But yeah, all right, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. Hey, I will be back live again in about 2 hours.
Take it easy.
All right, later, brother.